Ladies and gentlemen, in the ring at this time, please welcome
the three-weight world champion, and tonight
it is Shakur Stevenson fast becoming a superstar.
across the ring, he is the defending champion, fighting tonight out of the red corner. He comes to the ring wearing black with paint and weighing officially at 134.1 pounds. Hailing from Brick City, Newark, New Jersey, USA, a 2016 Olympic silver medalist, now undefeated as a professional with 22 wins, 10 of those 22 wins coming by way of knockout. The reigning and defending WBC lightweight champion of the world, Shakur Stevenson!
And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, he is the defending world champion. He wears maroon with blue and gold trim. He scaled at the lightweight limit of 135 pounds, bang on. His professional record, also a perfect one. 16 fights, 16 victories, 12 of them coming by way of knockout. Hard-hitting Honduran 2016 Olympian is widely recognized as one of the best active fighters on the planet. Tonight, this 2020 Fighter of the Year makes his 7th appearance right here at Madison Square Garden, fighting out of Brooklyn, New York, USA. Is the reigning, defending, undefeated IBF, WBO, WBA, WBC franchise, and Ring Magazine lightweight champion of the world, Teofimo Lopez!
At a fiery press conference, Teofimo Lopez delivered a clear warning to Shakur Stevenson, promising to dominate once they step inside the ring. Labeled the underdog, Lopez embraced the role and vowed to make underestimation a costly mistake. He guaranteed an elite-level performance fueled by championship experience, sharp fight IQ, knockout power, and relentless hunger, assuring fans a high-stakes showdown capable of reshaping pound-for-pound discussions.
Yes.
Shakur Stevenson, obviously
sure.
you guys are both in Las Vegas. I'm hearing that you did link up today. A face-off happened between the two of you?
Yeah, face-off happened, things of that nature, just to create the things that are in motion already. So we're really adamant about fighting each other next, and I can't wait for us to really lace it up. And I see him across the ring, and really when that bell rings, lights out for him.
What's it like seeing him now kind of face-to-face? When you look at him, what do you see? Because obviously you're not locked in just yet, and the closer it gets to a fight, obviously things turn a little bit. But when you do look at Shakur, what do you think of him?
I think I don't think too much of it. I think that he believes in himself. That's one thing. But I'm here to destroy his dreams and all that he wants to do and become. You can't take this from me. I worked very hard for it. I've bled for this. And I'm not taking nothing from him. But I just believe that what's gonna happen next is
Lopez enters his showdown with Shakur Stevenson driven by pure determination and unwavering confidence. Locked in and battle-ready, he promises full control inside the ring, aiming to showcase explosive power, championship-level skill, and his rightful place among boxing's elite.
Shakur is going to come out and try to fight or take the fight to Teo in the first 6 rounds at all. So if he's fighting off the back foot, if Teo can make it so that he's convincingly, or he's convinced at least Shakur that he may have won 4 of the first 6 rounds, if it's 4-2 in Shakur's mind going into the second half of the fight, or if I'm looking at him stealing those first 6 rounds, then it's an interesting fight going into the tail end, because Teo, to me, is a front runner, right? I want to see if he can carry his energy and his explosiveness late in the fight and not wear down. And then when Shakur starts to open up, can you steal some of those championship rounds from him and make it like a close fight? I think if Teo comes out and does what he usually does, which is try to swarm Shakur early and keep Shakur on the defensive early, then he can try to steal a lot of those early rounds. And if he does that, then Shakur has to fight in the tail end of that fight, and that'll make it real interesting. If I'm looking at the first 3 rounds, first 4 rounds, and Teo looks like he's losing those rounds convincingly, then it's an easy night for Shakur, unanimous decision in my opinion. You know what I mean? Because I don't think Teo is going to bring anything late in the game, you know what I mean, to this fight. I think if he is who he's always been, you know, he's going to get gassed after like the 7th round and then take some rounds off. And when he does that, Shakur will open up and start to try to pick him apart, pot shot him, and do things like that. But this is the perfect fight, narrative-wise, for Shakur, because I've been waiting for Shakur to get into that fight where, you know, he doesn't have the fight where he doesn't have his Diego Corrales fight. You know what I mean? Where you think he's actually in danger. Shakur has been he's been outclassing everybody he's in the ring with. You know what I mean? Then the guys that you think could give him some work, like De Los Santos, I know people hate when I bring that fight up, but
Lopez makes it crystal clear that he has no intention of allowing Shakur Stevenson to take the championship he fought relentlessly to earn. He highlights the sacrifices behind his rise, explaining that the belt represents years of pain, discipline, and non-stop grind at boxing's highest level. For Lopez, this fight is about protecting his legacy and defending everything he built through blood, sweat, and mental toughness. Fueled by pride and confidence, he believes no opponent can steal what was earned through dedication and championship-level commitment.
What is it about you that has you, looking at a fighter that you know is the truth and then saying, I want to fight him? It seems like it should be normal if you're a fighter, right? But that stuff is dying off in the game right now. And I feel like you one of the last of the dying breed that actually want real challenges.
Yeah, I'm competitive, bro. So it's like, I want to be the best. So when I see certain guys out there, and I seen Tio his last fight, I was there front row, and I'm like, damn, this dude is like, he like a baby Roy. Like, he like doing things with his hands down, flashy. And I thought it was cool. So it kind of made me want to get in the ring with him and see if he could do them things against my style.
Your last fight was against William Zepeda in July, and you fought a totally different way. It wasn't the easiest way or the best way to fight, but I think it was good for you and your development because it not only sent a message to the rest of the division, one up, your division at that time, and then the one above you, but it sent a message to the fans. But I think it also did something for you to prove to yourself that, man, listen, that wasn't like my best performance, but I showed you I can get it out the mud. What did that performance kind of do for you now that you look back at it?
Honestly, I think like styles-wise, I think that Zepeda's style is the style that's supposed to give me the most trouble. Like, guys that box and give me time to think is the guys that's going to have a fit with me all night. But the guys who press me and put me against some ropes and throw a million punches, that's the style that's supposed to give me trouble. So I went out there and I prevailed against that style, and now I'm fighting against a boxer, which for me, it just makes it more fun. I don't have to deal with a guy that's trying to
Okoye delivers a sharp tactical breakdown of the Shakur Stevenson vs. Teofimo Lopez championship clash, predicting a high-level 12-round pay-per-view chess match rather than an early stoppage. He explains that the first 6 rounds will be crucial, as Stevenson is unlikely to start aggressively. Instead, Shakur is expected to operate off the back foot, using elite defense, ring IQ, and timing to read Lopez's intentions. That if Lopez can control the early rounds with speed, power, and explosiveness, it could force Stevenson to adjust in the later stages, increasing drama and competitiveness. Lopez is described as a dangerous frontrunner who thrives on momentum, raising questions about whether he can sustain that intensity deep into a world title fight. Okoye believes that if Stevenson falls behind early, he will be forced to open up in the championship rounds, setting up a thrilling primetime finish. However, if Lopez drops the early rounds, Stevenson's precision and experience could carry him to a dominant unanimous decision. Ultimately, this bout is a high-stakes strategic battle where energy management, round-by-round execution, and championship composure will determine the winner.
On this side of the world, listen, there's nothing like the Garden. We've both fought there many times. I fought in the big room. There's nothing like the Garden. Just the vibe, like you said, champ, that's around that. And this fight is deserving to be here. It's that good of a fight. It's that big a fight, and especially like I said, like the health of American boxing. This is one of the best fights that can be made. And putting it in the Garden just makes too much sense.
But the idea of the turmoil, the eyes on it, the spectacle, the circus. Chris, you talked about the idea that Teofimo Lopez kind of lives in this. That's where he flourishes. That's what he loves. This idea that because there's so many eyeballs on it, it's going to be kind of a circus. Does that favor Teofimo a little bit when you look at the strategy? Yes, no?
I'm going to say well, I can't say for certain because there's no certain with Teofimo Lopez. He's one of the most up, down, left, right guys I've ever been around.
Mercurial, we could say.
I mean,
yes.
But when he is on, he's damn near unbeatable. I mean, he's such a good athlete. He has such a good boxing IQ. He's so physical and explosive. And again, I've said this on past shows. I've called him many times for Top Rank, been around fight weeks. And it just seems to me, the more out of sorts he seems, the more back against the wall it looks like, the more that he's an underdog, the better he performs. And this could be that kind of situation. New York is a tough place, man. They're already gibbering, going back and forth, saying like, you know, he reps Brooklyn, but there's kind of questions about his Brooklyn roots. Can he really rep Brooklyn in the way that he says he can? So he's already getting that heat for that. I don't know. It might be a good thing to kind of to poke the bear in terms of how well Teofimo is going to show up.
Paulies, that's a huge. You're from Brooklyn. That's a big insult to say that you're not really from Brooklyn.
Insult him a little bit.
Insult him a little bit. Insult him, man.
But I'll tell you what. I don't. There's so many thoughts in my head with this situation because Teofimo is at his most dangerous when he's counting.
Shakur Stevenson explains that his motivation is driven by an intense competitive mindset and an obsession with proving greatness at boxing's highest level. When studying Teofimo Lopez's past performances, Stevenson was impressed by his explosive confidence, elite athleticism, and flashy ring IQ, qualities that reminded him of a young Roy Jones Jr. That comparison sparked a desire to challenge himself against a dangerous, high-value opponent. Stevenson views this matchup as a career-defining opportunity to test his skills against an elite fighter while adapting to new tactics and fight dynamics. Reflecting on his tough bout with William Zepeda, he admits the pressure-heavy style was uncomfortable and physically demanding, but ultimately a turning point in his development. That fight proved he could stay composed under relentless pressure and thrive in adversity. Now preparing for Lopez, Stevenson feels fully equipped to handle elite speed, knockout power, and unpredictable exchanges. His championship experience, tactical intelligence, and mental discipline give him confidence that he can control the fight, showcase elite defense, and further cement his legacy on boxing's biggest stage.
Teo is going to bring the fight. He's very athletic. He has a lot of explosiveness, and but I do feel like when it comes to Shakur, bro, his movement may frustrate him. The only thing that worries me when it comes to Teofimo is his frustration. Like, is he going to be able to work well with a mover? We've seen, difficulties that he had with Sandor Martin. We've seen the difficulties that he had with Jimmy Ortiz, guys that's been moving around and not staying still. Like, if you keep Teo moving around and he can't plant his feet, what can he do? We're going to have to find that out on, January 31st. And I think Shakur, he's probably one of the best guys to, move his feet, be on defense, being hella patient and frustrating a fighter, bro. So I don't know. We've seen Teo get frustrated to the point where he's asking himself, do I still got it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We got to see what his mentality is going to be like come January 31st.
Do you think that his experience on the biggest of stages, his two biggest wins, he was an underdog, and both guys, ironically enough, were southpaws like Shakur. That play any factor to you, man?
Nah, styles is different. The styles are totally different. Lomachenko don't fight like Shakur. Josh Taylor don't fight like Shakur. I don't see, just because southpaw, that same thing will happen. I feel like certain techniques could be used to fight Shakur, yeah. But in terms of that approach of the fight, nah. Shakur fights totally different. You gotta be able to do some out-of-pocket stuff with Shakur. You gotta throw while he's throwing. That's probably some of the only times that he's able to get hit. Only time he's open. So, yeah. Other than that, bro, it's gonna be a pretty tough night for Teofimo Lopez.
Chris Algieri breaks down the massive significance of the Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez showdown, calling it a defining moment for elite boxing and the global pay-per-view market. He strongly supports high-risk, high-reward matchups where pound-for-pound talents face each other without fear, noting that true superstars remain elite even after setbacks. Algieri believes this fight perfectly represents that championship mindset. Rather than a reckless slugfest, he expects a masterclass in ring IQ, precision, and tactical brilliance. The technical excellence, defensive awareness, and calculated offense should captivate both hardcore fans and casual viewers. According to Algieri, a decisive win for Stevenson would firmly place him among the top 5 to 7 pound-for-pound fighters in the world. He describes the bout as a throwback clash reminiscent of legendary rivalries where skill, legacy, and boxing history were on the line, proof that elite boxing remains profitable, meaningful, and electrifying in the modern era.
Because you got to scrap and you play with me. Yeah, nah, for sure. I mean, look, like you said, the first thing you said was bluffing McMuffin, right? So you don't think that he's gonna do that. Let's just say that's the case. Let's say he wins this fight, but he doesn't win this fight. Whatever happens.
Right, because you made a statement after he said, "Oh, let's see, I'm gonna go back down to 35." So which one is it, man? He kind of 6'7" with it.
There you go.
Come on, which one is it?
So let's talk about 140 then, because obviously there's other champions there. One who you've been going back and forth with recently online, one that you have history with, and you got other guys, Subriel there, somebody else you had history, Richardson Hitchens. What's the route for you going forward after your next fight?
After my next fight, unify. I've always let it be known. I want to be undisputed in my division. I want to unify. Anybody who got a title at the time, that's what I need to see next after my next up-and-coming fight.
Gary, just talk about, obviously your division is hot right now. This fight, your fight coming up, you know, maybe one of the biggest ones in Teofimo versus Shakur. Just looking at that fight stylistically, how does it play out in the ring?
It's 50-50. You know, in order for you to participate in this sport, you got to have a high level of confidence. I feel like both of them has a high level of confidence. Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, but styles make fights. Naturally, I think Teofimo Lopez is stronger than Shakur. Naturally, I think he has more athleticism than Shakur, and he got a good IQ on the sport itself. But Shakur, I feel like he's a more smarter fighter. He's a more technical fighter. You know, I'm not saying that he's a square or he's just a textbook fighter, but he's seasoned, he's poised. I feel like mentally he's more mature. Like, he don't go outside of the boundaries on taking risks. So a lot of times you'll see him fight some.
Bruce Carrington offers a sharp analysis of Teofimo Lopez's upcoming clash with Shakur Stevenson, identifying a critical weakness that could decide this high-stakes pay-per-view battle. According to Carrington, Lopez often struggles against elite fighters who use constant movement, smart angles, and high-level ring IQ. While Lopez is known for explosive power, fast hands, and championship athleticism, those strengths can be neutralized by an opponent who controls distance and dictates tempo. Stevenson's calm composure, defensive mastery, and precision footwork allow him to disrupt rhythm and force opponents into costly mistakes. Carrington explains that Stevenson's ability to maintain spacing and reset after every exchange could lure Lopez into overcommitting and draining his energy in the later rounds. While Lopez thrives in aggressive exchanges and highlight reel moments, relying too heavily on raw power may backfire against a patient, technically superior boxer. Stevenson's elite timing, ring awareness, and tactical discipline could gradually break Lopez down, proving once again that intelligence and precision often outperform power at the highest level.
Fight to a degree. You know, that's why everybody was criticizing him for, oh, he's a born fighter. He's a careful fighter. And I feel like with Teofimo Lopez, he's going to be a careful fighter. You know, just because he's a careful fighter doesn't mean that he isn't punctual with how he do things. I think Shakur, he got a lot in this arsenal that he can use to make him be victorious, as well as Teofimo Lopez. You know what I mean? So it's a 50-50 fight, and it depends on what fighters show up the night of the fight. Right. You know, but if I had to give you my whole honest truth, if Teofimo Lopez show up and is ready to fight just like how he fought Lomachenko.
Gary Antoine Russell delivers an insightful breakdown of Teofimo Lopez, focusing on the elite version of the fighter rather than surface-level assumptions. He points to Lopez's masterclass performance against Vasily Lomachenko as the perfect blueprint, showcasing how Lopez excels when explosive aggression is combined with elite ring IQ and control. Russell explains that Lopez reaches his peak when he stays calm under pressure, applies intelligent forward momentum, and forces opponents into high-risk situations while limiting counter opportunities. This rare blend of speed, power, and discipline makes Lopez a nightmare matchup. When he commits fully to his strategy, dictating pace, leveraging athleticism, and timing shots with precision, he can dominate rounds and neutralize even world-class opponents.